Hey folks, it's been a while since I made a video here, and I've been watching conventions. I watched parts of the Republican convention, and I've been trying to watch parts of the Democratic convention, Democratic National Convention, and Lord have mercy, the things they are doing are just totally beyond belief. They, I don't know how to explain it, but all I can say is this, ladies and gentlemen, people of America, it's time for you to take a step back and say, whoa, wait a minute, we're not playing this game any longer. I'm not voting Democrat. I'm not voting Republican. I'm voting independent. Even if you've been a lifelong Democrat or a lifelong Republican, it's time for you to step back and take a look at the pros and the cons of both people that are running. Hillary took the nomination away from Bernie Sanders, which, I don't care one way or another. I wasn't going to give Bernie Sanders my vote anyway. His socialist ideas just don't fly. I'm sorry. I've been around and been to too many socialist countries and seen how them poor people have to live because they're living under socialism. It doesn't work. If you don't believe me, pick up a newspaper and read about Venezuela. You'll find out how well socialism really works. It's such a great thing. But anyway, what I wanted to say is we've seen the Republicans pull some stupid stuff. We've seen the Democrats pull some really boneheaded stuff. We've seen our president and our Attorney General and our FBI agents give Hillary a free pass. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I live next door to one, and we were talking about it. I was curious, so I thought I'd pick her brain a little bit. And I asked her about what she thought about what Inspector Comey said and outlined. And she told me the way she sees it is that they had more than enough to indict. Because extreme carelessness is, I can't remember the word they were using while they were discussing this and while Comey was in front of the oversight committee or whatever it was, the judicial committee, whatever that was, where them guys were asking him questions and trying to get him to change his what he said. But extreme carelessness is not an excuse, especially in her case of letting her off. That's no reason to let her off. And now here that the DNC was hacked and a bunch more of her emails have been released and stuff. One email pointed out that she instructed one of her people, while she was Secretary of the State, Secretary of State, to remove classification things and send it through a unsecured server to God only knows who that had no business having that information. And that right there is a felony. It's mishandling of government information and government paperwork. Classified information, classified paperwork. That's mishandling, period. And when the email that instructed her came out, that was enough right there for the FBI to turn around and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute, we're going after you on this again. You done screwed up. We've got the proof now." And they should have anyway, because they found how many emails on her server that were classified and top secret and stuff like this, and that's a no-no. I mean, I read the law that Comey said that they checked out. I read it, and everything that he said she did fits criteria for prosecution, especially if you understand the legalese and the definitions. And so I went and looked to see what some of these definitions were, in plain everyday people language. And extreme carelessness was right there. It was listed as what the definitions of what he said she did were. So she is guilty, but I can't judge. I'm not the person in charge. I'm not the one that's gonna have to live with her lies if she gets elected. I'm not the one that's going to have to live with her telling you that, well, you can't say this anymore because that's hate speech. And they've already tried to push this hate speech stuff through Congress already. This is the third time that they're trying to push this bill through again. They just reworded it a little bit, but it says you can't say anything bad about Islamic people. It's considered hate speech. If you say anything bad about Islamic people or act bad towards an Islamic person, it's hate speech. Okay, that's fine. But one thing that should be really pissing every American off, be you Democrat or be you Republican, there's one thing missing from this Democratic convention, and you don't see them anywhere. I have been watching, and I haven't seen them anywhere. It's the American flag, ladies and gentlemen. The American flag's not to be seen. But yet you step outside, or even when the cameras pan, if you watch, you'll see Mexican flags. You'll see Palestinian flags. And yes, you will even see a few Russian flags. The old hammer and sickle up there. You'll see them. But you don't see any American flags anywhere. There's none on the stage. Did anybody notice that at the Republican convention, everywhere you looked, there was an American flag? This should piss you off, ladies and gentlemen. American flag is a symbol of our country. It is what brings tears to my eyes every time the national anthem is played. And I bet you dollars donuts they didn't even play the national anthem at the Democratic National Convention when they started. I bet you they didn't, because I didn't catch that. Now this tells me a lot. That, okay, Wasserman, because of what she said about Latinos, a lot of them are really pissed off. And I don't blame them. Maybe it was misconstrued how it was put in the email, but it makes no difference. They're mad. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I can understand where they're coming from. Even if the email was misconstrued, I can understand where they're coming from. She was resigned or was fired. I don't know which it was. I heard she resigned and I heard she was fired. I don't know which. Then I've seen news article after news article where she was immediately hired by the Hillary Clinton campaign. And I'm thinking to myself, Lord have mercy. This crook just loves getting crooks around her. Did you know that her running mate, Tim Klein, has ties to Islamic terrorist organizations? Oh yeah, this has been proven. This is fact. I even double checked when I first read about it and did a little bit of research to find out, and yes, it has been verified. He does have ties to Islamic terrorist organizations. Now, is this what you want in office as your vice president? I sure as hell don't. And Hillary again is off on her little tangent about AR-15s, the assault rifles. Well, excuse me. The only assault rifles that are made in this country are the ones that the United States Army has. That's fact. If you don't believe me, look it up. Those are fully automatic weapons. That means you pull the trigger, it goes till it's out of bullets. Now, an AR-15 is a semi-automatic weapon. That means it'll only fire as fast as you can pull the trigger. And then it's the same thing. Once you're out of bullets, you gotta reload. But here's the thing. Everybody goes around saying AR means assault rifle. No, it does not. AR is the name, abbreviation letters for the name of the company that designed it and built it. My God, I can't believe how naive people are and how stupid they are. They listen to people like Hillary, and then this one clown did a video talking about a 30-second clip, a 30-round, 30-second clip. That means one round a second, or 30 sec. I don't remember what it was, but he had it so gooped up, and I'm going, what? There's no gun in the world that can shoot that fast. Especially one that you're going to be able to hold. You know, I was in the military for 23 years. We had a thing called a phalanx, close-in weapons system, radar controlled. It shot 70 millimeter shells. They're about that big around, folks. About that big around. And they're about this long. And when it's fully loaded and tracking and firing, it shoots 3,000 rounds a minute. 3,000 rounds a minute. That's a whole lot of ammunition going through the air in a minute. That's a whole lot of bullets. And there is no way that the American public is going to get their hands on something like that legally. And I mean legally. You can't have stuff like that legally. Sure, there are a few people out there that do have special licenses from the federal government to own automatic weapons. They're collectors and professionals with this. They're instructors, a lot of them, on this kind of weaponry. In the military, they have classes. They teach these military people how to tear them down, put them back together, how to make sure they are working correctly, and this kind of stuff. And they're teaching that to the military. Now, I'm kind of going off of what I came on to say, folks. What I'm trying to tell you is, folks, is it's time to take a serious look. Everybody, especially the Democratic Party, take a look at this person that you want as President of the United States. I mean, a close look. Start digging, doing some digging. You're going to find some stuff that will make your hair go gray. It'll curl your hair. It'll make it fall out. Because she is one scary woman. And I'm telling you right now, if she can't keep secrets secure and decides she wants to send them over a less secure system than Gmail, then I don't want her in control of anything that has to do with my security and the safety of my country. I don't want her in control of any of that. I mean, this woman is as crooked as a dog's hind leg. And she lies constantly. Hasn't told the truth in the last 40 years. I don't think she even knows how to tell the truth. Every time she speaks someplace, depending on where it is, she twists things around. So it makes the people that she's talking to happy. Black people in this country, it's time for all of you to start looking in to the Democratic Party. I was shocked at what I found out about the Democratic Party. Now, Lyndon Johnson said it. I didn't say it. Lyndon Johnson said, we do this and we'll have the niggers voting for us for 200 years. And he was a Democrat. I didn't like Lyndon Johnson anyway. I thought he was a sneaky SOB. But, I was just little. What the hell did I know? I didn't like the man. To this day, I don't like the man. I haven't liked a lot of presidents we've had in office because there was always something about them I didn't like. There's a few that, this guy's pretty good. This guy seems to have the country's best interests at heart. But what I'm trying to say, folks, is do the research. Look up the facts. And I mean look up the facts. Just don't go to one website and say, okay, that's the facts. Look at a bunch of them. You can get a synopsis of most websites if you're asking the right questions. And you can get a comparison and you can see what I'm talking about. The Democratic Party is not what everybody thinks it is. It's not about the little guy anymore. It hasn't been about the little guy, the working man, for probably 150 years or 200 years. It hasn't been about the working man. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. It's been about the rich cats, the lobbyists, and the people that are putting money in the pockets of the president, the vice president, so on, so on, so on, so on, right down the line. Don't vote strictly Democrat because this is the party that you think walks on water. Look at the facts. Look at everything that's out there. Granted, we have two people running that there's pros and cons for both. But I'm going to tell you something. There's lesser cons for the one running as a Republican than there is for the one that's running as a Democrat. And that's God's honest truth, folks. The one that's running as a Democrat, oh Lord, I mean, she'll take every right she can away from you folks. As soon as she gets in office, she's going to start doing the Obama law change, which is executive orders, and which were illegal, by the way. Every one of his executive orders that made a law were illegal. Read how the government's set up. Read about his powers with executive orders, and you'll find out that anything he made or signed in as an executive order or made as an executive order that has become a law was illegal. It's illegal. They can't enforce it because it's illegal. He cannot make laws. Now, he can make a law better. If there's a law that's flawed, he can make a law better. He can sign an executive order to make a law that is in existence better. But he cannot make a new law. This is in print, folks. All you got to do is read it. That's all I got for this rant, folks. And I'm hoping come November, and this is a big if we have elections in November, and the way it looks, I'm really, really kind of worried it's not going to happen. And the American people better start being worried about it too. Because I know what they're up to. I can read between the lines. I see all this sneaky, underhanded stuff that's going on, and I see between the lines. They are leading up to getting us pissed off enough that we have civil disobedience. And then it will hammer us with martial law. But I got a sneaking hunch they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they try to do that. A rude damn awakening, because I got a sneaking hunch there's going to be a whole bunch of people they were expecting to back them up that ain't going to do it. They're going to tell them, no, it ain't happening, we're not doing this. Excuse me. Well, that's all I got, folks. Y'all think about what I said. Get out there and check. Research it. I mean, it's not really hard to do. Just word your questions right, put it in your search engine, and let it do its thing. It's well worth finding out before you make a decision that you're going to sit there and slap yourself for every day if you vote for Hillary. I'm not saying that Donald Trump's going to be the greatest president in the world, but I'm thinking he's going to be a hell of a lot better than what we got in office right now. We don't need 4 more years of Democratic rule. We do not need it. The Democrats have just totally lost their minds. Totally lost their minds. They want to keep everybody on welfare that they can. They want to just take money away from you and give it to people who don't deserve it, and let illegal aliens vote, and they just want to do all this stuff. I mean, this isn't the America I grew up with. This isn't the America biggest share of you should be growing up with, or have grown up with. We need to change it. We need to change it for the better and become the country that everybody in the world respected. Every country in the world used to respect us. They don't anymore. And this has got to change, folks. We've got to get our respect back. We've got to get our country back to working. We've got to make our people safe. That's what's important. Well, y'all take care. God bless, and be safe out there.